Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host, Derek Stevenson. And listen, y'all, I didn't think I was ever going to do this, but I'm trying to be fair. I got a Louisville Cardinal fan on my show, and it's breaking my heart because there's all this hype around the Louisville basketball program. They done hired all of these new coaches, and right now they feeling like they back, like they about to take over Kentucky basketball. So I had to have my guy Reggie Brown on the show to tell me why Kentucky fans need to be afraid of what's happening at Louisville, man. But anyways, Reggie, thank you for coming on the show, my brother. How you been?
Man, I've been doing good, man. Hey, it feels good to be a Cardinal fan right now,
I know it does, man. That's what it seemed
man.
like, man. So, anyways, man, we're gonna get right into it, man. So listen, I got some questions written down that I gotta ask you, right? So it seems like the overwhelming opinion from Kentucky fans is that realistically, Worldwide West, and we all know who that was, that's the guy
Right,
behind the Nike and Kentucky recruitment, right?
right.
A lot of people are saying he was way more important to Kentucky's success than Kenny Payne was. Do you think that he can recreate that wave of recruiting talent that was a part of Lexington, Kentucky? And is this like, is this really what the Louisville fan base wants? Are y'all ready for this one and done action? Because you see everything that we had to go through with it.
Yeah, and I used to dog y'all about it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be 100 straightforward with it. I used to dog y'all about it. But what people don't fail to realize is Worldwide West really started at Louisville with Derek Smith. That's how Kenny Payne knows Worldwide West. That's why Nolan Smith calls Worldwide West his uncle. Because, it started with Derek Smith. And do I think he can recreate what he had in Lexington? I really do. Louisville's a bigger city, new arena, 22,000 seat arena. People don't want them to play. Louisville's a top 10 program. I argue up and down. UK fans may hate me. You can't tell me Louisville's not a top 10 program. Okay, yeah, our title got vacated, but we still got 3 titles. You seen it. Some of y'all was on Broadway with me partying. I was on U of L campus getting crunk. I know it was a buzz, but just with that horn of Kenny Payne and then the connections that he has, the vibe in Louisville right now, man, it's like my father, I wasn't born in the 80s. I was 90. I'm a 90s baby, 91. So my father, who was, at the time in his prime, younger ages, probably about 30, like he said, at that time in the 80s when Louisville had Griff, the Darius Smiths, the Duncan Cardinals, Louisville was fun to be around. It was like, you had players playing in the dirt bowl at the time. College players could play in the dirt bowl. Hell, NBA players could play in the dirt bowl. He said just that time being in Louisville, he's like, it's fun. He said, like, it's like he feel like it brought back the 80s.
And you feel like y'all about to be on the 80s vibe. Is that what you telling me?
I, I'm not going to say because, with technology, everything has changed since the 80s and these kids now, with NIL, because they was just talking about that earlier. I was just talking about that earlier with my homie. Imagine if NIL was back when Griff played. Or imagine if NIL was back when, hell, Jordan and Carolina, all these other superstars we see, when KD played, if LeBron would have went to college and NIL was back. And what people fail to realize, Kentucky as a whole, Louisville and Kentucky, is the number one basketball rating, that watch games, generating money. Louisville for a good little while was the top program at generating money for college basketball. So Louisville's a college town. It's just like Kentucky. It's crazy, man.
That's what's up, man. Well, listen, this is one thing that's kind of worrying me, right? And I know a lot of it's just hype. Some of it may die down, but are you kind of worried that like Kenny Payne is kind of being like served up as the Lord and Savior, man? Like, is
Man,
it is
hey,
it too much pressure for Kenny?
I don't know if it is too much pressure for him. He should have got the job 4 years ago. Let's be honest. He didn't get a fair shake 4 years ago. He just got a call. He should have got the job 4 years ago. But I think he's ready for it. It's his first coaching job. He's making great moves, as you can see, how with Hard Nose, and then bringing on Danny Manning, and then getting the Justin, Priaz's son for Rock Nation. So it's definitely creating a buzz. He definitely building the program how he wants to build it. He definitely got his hands on the program. So I don't know. I wouldn't say too much pressure for him. I feel like he's been made for this moment. He's been groomed for this moment.
All right. Well, then I got to ask you this, right? To sort of piggyback off of that, it's not really been a whole lot of coaches that have had a lot of success when they go back and coach their alma maters, right? And you can look at some of the guys like Patrick Ewing at Georgetown, wasn't successful.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Mullin at St. John's. Penny in Memphis, he kind of struggling right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thought he was going to be a smash, and it's kind of been a little rocky for Penny. And then you got Juwan Howard in Michigan. I mean, he had a little success, but not really that much. So are you kind of concerned that a whole lot of players really haven't had much success going back to their schools?
I'm not concerned at all because you want me to tell you one reason why.
Why
those players you named, Juwan, Patrick, they all started their careers on NBA benches. Kenny started his career on a college bench at Oregon. Then he moved to Kentucky. Y'all call yourself the greatest program of all time. So, he had to learn from the best. He's all the years that he spent in college and been around the college game, he knows how it's played, even with it changing. With him going to the NBA for those 2 years, basically gave him another notch of, okay, he can go coach in the NBA and develop players in the NBA. As you can see, the first year he did start, Julius Randle wins Most Improved Player Award last year. So, the man's track record speaks for itself. And I feel like he can develop players here at Louisville. We're just like that with the top facilities, and they're building a new dorm over on the campus. He's been there. He's seen what it looks like. So, yeah, I most definitely think he'll be good. I don't think it'll be a problem like Juwan. Most of these kids, most of the parents know.
All right. Well,
then with Penny, with Penny started as an AAU coach.
Right.
So.
Yeah, like they had a big Nike camp down here at KBA. I think it was the IBL or whatever they call it. Is that what they call it? The IBL?
The EYBL.
EYBL. That's what it is. And it was the year that I think it was the year where for Kentucky when we had Monk and Fox and them boys. And I seen Penny in there. He had his AAU squad, so you're right. But one thing I got to ask you is, it seemed like Kenny Payne wasn't really interested in being a head coach for a minute. Because, it seemed like he was cool being an assistant at Kentucky. Then, you figure if he would have left Kentucky, you figure it would have been for a head coaching job. But he left for an assistant job. So, to me, it kind of seemed like almost like he had to be like talked into the job, almost kind of forced into it, honestly, like, because it just seemed kind of like as soon as y'all's job, as soon as there was a vacancy, everybody was on his head. And I couldn't imagine how it was to actually be him, because I just know what the buzz was here. I mean, I was mad because I wanted y'all to get who was it y'all was looking at before?
It was the guy from Baylor, Scott Drew, Chris Auburn's coach, Bruce Pearl. They had
Bruce Pearl. Like, I wanted y'all to get I wanted y'all to get one of them guys, especially Bruce Pearl, because I kind of always felt like Kenny was going to end up taking the Kentucky job. But it just seemed like he wasn't really into it. Are you afraid that maybe he might get burnt out with the head coaching responsibilities, or maybe that's just not really his thing, that he kind of liked being an assistant? Like, are you concerned about that at all?
I'm not concerned about that because they said it's been reported that he had a chance to go to Coach DePaul. DePaul offered him the job. He turned it down. Sometimes, man, at Kentucky, he was making top dollar. He was a top paid assistant.
Right.
Sometimes, man, you wait for those special jobs. And I even got the assumption that he was basically waiting for the Louisville job. Like he knew Chris. He probably knew Chris Mack was gonna make it. And after seeing what was going on, I'm glad we got rid of him.
Right.
But like I said, Kenny should have got the job 4 years ago. I feel like he's been perfectly groomed for this, and I feel like he's ready for the challenge.
That's what's up.
First
Unfortunately,
year head coach, so you
it's
already know what he wants to do. He wants to get up and down. So
right. It's always kind of rocky, man. Them first years, you just never know how it's going to turn out. But
he got some good players actually coming back. Some of the headaches that was a part of the team went away, but I think he got a nice solid core coming back, and just whatever they add to it.
right.
We're in the running for a couple players. We're in the running for the Tennessee transfer. The West Virginia transfer is supposed to be here on the 29th. So,
And y'all probably gonna get DJ.
I don't know. I ain't gonna go that far yet.
Go on record. Y'all getting DJ, man. Speak on it, man.
I don't want to. I'm not that type. I like to know when they sign and it's been mailed to Louisville and I faxed to Louisville and it's signed. And yeah, I'll be happy. But till then, I ain't falling for it.
Word. All right. Well, let's take it left a little bit, right? Now, y'all never had a black head coach yet. Do you feel like even with Kentucky, now Kentucky's had a black head basketball and football coach. Y'all had a black football coach, but y'all never had a black basketball coach. Do you feel like it might have been a little pressure on the university to start looking at a black person? And after you answer that, do you think that it could end up being one of those situations like with the Miami Dolphins where if he's not successful, it could end up being funny and y'all might end up having a situation like we had with Tubby where half of the fans think Tubby deserved to be fired and half of the fans think Tubby was fired because he was black?
Yeah, I really think there was pressure. The older cats from back in the day, the '80s, Jerry Ease and them, Butch Beers, they removed his name from all of the stuff at Louisville. Like they most definitely was pressure. Griff was on them. They most definitely put pressure on the university to hire the first black coach, and it's time. It's time. The perfect guy was sitting right there waiting for you. And I do feel like if he isn't successful, that it is going to be some of those fans like he shouldn't be fired. He should be fired. So
yeah. All right. That's what's up. Well, let me just ask you this, right? So, like you said, things are already starting to buzz a little bit. Y'all got some transfers coming in to meet with y'all. Y'all looking like y'all gonna get, at least a couple of top recruits, right? So, for next year, with this being his first year, what would be like your success, or how would you look at the recruiting class? What would be a successful class for you for next year?
a top 10 class would be successful for me.
Top 10.
If he can pull off a top 10 class, that would be successful for me.
And then now let's take it down a couple years down the road. Like let's say maybe 3 to 5 years. What do you expect from him in 3 to 5 years?
Multiple NCAA tournament appearances. I might have to throw a Final Four in there, at least Elite Eight, at least, because you don't know what's going to come down from the FBI.
That's true.
They saying, we could get punished, we could not. We was a repeat offender. So now it's been so long since that stuff has happened. We're out of our probation for the strippers.
Got you.
So I don't know if they don't wipe the slate clean. Mitch Barnhart is on the staff. Kenny had meetings with Mitch and Cal before he took the job. So, like you said, he wouldn't have took the job if he knew something bad was going to happen.
Right. So since you said, in 3 to 5 years, you expect to be basically Final Four level. Are you telling me that in the next couple of seasons you're gonna have a number 1 to number 3 recruiting class? Is that gonna become the norm for you guys?
See it. I most definitely can see it because, like you said, if he can pull off DJ, pulling off DJ brings you the 4th and 5th ranked player, basically. And then you already got Caleb Lynn, who's at Male, who's shooting up the rankings fast. He's a nice 6'7", down low. Reminds me of Shane Buchanan, but I feel like he has better potential than Shane. Like he's not distracted. His parents is gonna be on. So yeah, I feel like we can. Yeah, he can have a nice recruiting class. If he can land DJ next year, those four that he like with Caleb already committed. If he can get DJ and then he gets his two homies, I feel like he's gonna rock, man. And the Young Center's gonna be rock.
Yes, sir. And that's one thing I have yet to do is I have not watched the game in the Yum, aka the Bum Center yet.
Oh, man, come on, man.
But I wouldn't mind checking y'all out. But I gotta rock Kentucky gear though, no matter what. If I come to
That's fine. It's
I
been
come
plenty
to
of
the
people do
Bum
that.
Center, I have to either rock the opposing team's uniform or I gotta wear Kentucky gear. I can't wear Louisville gear, man. But
That's fine.
I've never been actually inside the Yum Center yet, man. So that's
the Yum's nice, man. I've been there. Me and my wife went there for a concert. I took my kids there. They brought wrestling here. They brought Raw and they did a home event. And I took them to both. And then we go on Disney on Ice, Monster Truck. Hey, man, it's nice.
That's what's up, man. And you know, I know everything is moving quickly for y'all, but one thing I gotta ask you is, for next season, what would be a successful season for Louisville Cardinals?
Make the tournament.
Just making the tournament?
Just making the tournament, man. I think we've been out of the tournament the last 3 years, 2 years. The last 2 years we've been out. The year before that we lost first round, and the year before that we didn't go.
So you're being real conservative right now.
Yeah. If we do some UNC stuff and go to the championship game, I don't know how.
Now, do you think that if y'all were to make the tournament, but that's it, like say you had a tournament like we had this year, right? And you got bounced in the first round, do you think that would start problems with Kenny Payne being the coach immediately, or do you think he got some leeway?
I think he got some leeway. Because the last 5 years has been, bad.
That's what's up, man. Well, hey, listen, I ain't gonna hold you too long, but I gotta ask you one more question, man. When is it gonna become time for Kentucky fans to be afraid of Louisville, man?
Man, I'm always gonna say y'all should be afraid of us now. Just with Kenny, man. With Kenny being there, I'm not gonna say we're gonna beat y'all next year because I seen y'all what y'all got coming, and with Oxford coming back, that's big, that's real big, and I think y'all really gonna make some noise next year. A lot of people don't joke with y'all, but man, I say within the next 2 or 3 years, we're gonna be right there with y'all.
There you have it, man. From the man himself, Reggie Brown. Man. He said all Kentucky fans better be on notice 2 to 3 years.
And I want to say something to Mr. Eric Gurton, the number one U of L hater. I don't know why he hates us.
Say it
he
to
probably
him.
Used to be a fan, man. It's an old picture of Eric back in the day having the Cardinal jersey on. Tell me it's all right, man. Then he went to the Blue Devils. So, they're a little upset we took no one. It's all good, man. We don't bust their ass like we usually do.
So what you telling me right now is Louisville's about to take over the ACC as well.
I'm gonna say it. Yep, I'm on mark. I'm on ready. We don't take over the ACC.
That's what's up, man. There you have it, man. Reggie Brown saying Louisville's coming for the throne. They taking over the ACC. They taking over the best basketball program in Kentucky. That's what y'all hear from the man. And we're gonna see in 3 to 5 years, like he said.
I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna be right here to stand on it if we don't.
That's what's up, brother. I appreciate it, man. Well, yeah, man. Do your thing, man. I appreciate you coming on the show, and we'll get back at it during basketball season for sure. And we'll have to see what these Cardinals is doing, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you for having me, brother.
Absolutely. You take it easy, man. And I'll see y'all next time. Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson.